Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. We are in update 5 and today we'll be looking at the feature called the customizer. So what is the customizer? Well, we used to have a thing called the paint gun. The paint gun changed the look and feel of everything, so we were limited on what we could do, but that's it. We could basically change the colors of stuff using the paint gun, and it was really not that great, to be honest. So they implemented a new system called the customizer. Now, to get to that, there's a quick button to get to it by pressing X. That brings you the customizer, or there's a different way, the old way of going to Q, which is your building screen, and then the customizer is on the top right. So that is an easy and quick way to get to it. Now, what you'll notice is there's 3 tabs here on the left: colors, materials, and patterns. So let's start off with the materials, but you gain these by unlocking them by buying them. So you have to actually go to the Fisket shop and buy them. So get your tickets, buy all these. Now I've gone and pre-bought all these with all my tickets that I've got. So I've unlocked all these different patterns and all these different materials. But it unlocks as you progress in the game itself. Okay, so let's have a quick look. If you look at this, you get the foundation and the wall materials for this. So I've got foundations and walls on that side. So how do I customize it? Okay, so material wise, I can go and say, I don't really like this concrete foundation, or I would prefer to actually have it as that. So what you can do is you can click on it and yeah, I'm just painting. So now it looks like that because I've wanted it to look like that. But let's say that's not the material I wanted. I wanted my walls to look like that. You can see I've got quite a range. So now I've got my walls over there, and yeah, maybe I wanted this to look like the old standard Fisket foundation. So now I'm painting this whole thing. Yes, I'm Bob Ross. So what you'll notice is that it also costs. So the foundation, I already built it. It is a concrete foundation. So it cost me the concrete to build that, but I don't need to do the concrete and the metal slabs or the metal sheets for this. All I need is I actually just need whatever material I need for it. So, like steel wall, we'll move to the steel walls now. But that's for the foundations, for instance. Now, that changes. So if we look at this foundation sitting here and we wanted to change this to concrete foundation, there we go. Now we've got a concrete foundation. Maybe the concrete foundation didn't work so well, so let's go for the standard Fisket foundation again. And with this one, we'll do the grit metal. Ah, yes, I like the grit metal. Plus, it has a nice sound. Yeah, I like the grit metal. So that's one way. Okay, now let's go over to the walls, because the wall is actually going to be one of my nice things. So I've built a 10 by something wall. Okay, now let's take a steel wall and we'll do a steel wall. And now I'm just going to go and do a concrete wall. Well, that's already a concrete, but you can see it's just drag and drop. But now I don't like this color. So that is the second part, which we'll get to as well. Colors and how colors work. Now, it's a bit confusing the first time when you look at this, because you've got custom, regular, and default. Now, what the default is just the basic foundation color. So I've now customized mine to look like that. So what do you mean it's the default custom? It's already applied. Well, that's the nice thing is you can customize these with any color. So you can customize your defaults by clicking on the edit. Let's just do that again. Hover over it and click edit. So now I can go and I can change this color to yellow. I want it completely yellow. And I wanted a dark yellow. And select this color. And now what happened? All my concrete is now, well, green/yellow. but all my concrete that I've changed is now this color. Well, that is the swatch. So if you look at this, you'll notice that that is the concrete structure swatch. So if I change this to, let's change it to blue, everything changes to blue. Now, let's say I don't want that. I want to have some of this red. Now, how would you do that? Well, that's where the custom swatch comes in. I can paint this red. So the concrete swatch, every time I update this, it will update the whole factory through. The same with my factory stuff. If I actually edit my factory to be, let's make it red. I want all of it red as can be. Select color. You'll notice that my whole factory, all of that is now red as well. So all of those yellow stuff, all the way in the background, all of that is red now. So that is what the top default is. So that is for the whole factory, for your foundations, concrete, and for your pipelines. So if my pipelines go, that they work on the same principle. But what the custom swatch and these regular swatches do is, well, they also have different purposes. The custom swatch is one that even if I update this custom swatch to now, let's make it yellow, you'll notice that this part that we painted red, that hasn't updated. So now I can select this and I can go and do it in yellow, and there we go. That's now yellow and nice. But now let's say I've got a custom swatch, and we'll do this one as light green. Lightish green sounds good to me. Okay. So I'm going to select this swatch, and I'm going to do it on the top there. Completely Bob Ross style. If I go and update this custom swatch, you'll notice that it updates the back end as well. Okay, let's change it to a completely different color. So let's edit it and change it to, let's make it pink. Oh no, that's my, no man, there we go, that's why. Okay, so now my swatch 1 is pink. Doesn't look like that once the sun comes out, but you can see it's changed. So every time I edit this one, let's take it all the way to red. You can actually see there in the background, as soon as I apply this, it's going to turn bright red. There we go. So you can see there in the background, it's updated now. So that's now that dark red. So that's the difference between the swatches. It's very difficult to get the hang of it at first, but the basics is if you want to have one part of your factory in a specific color and you want to update all of it, you paint it in this swatch. If you want to update the whole factory look and feel, you update it by using these default ones. And if you want to paint something and have it a very specific color, you use the custom swatch, because that will then stay. Even if I change this custom swatch to green, that's going to stay. It's not going to change. So yes, that's the way that the painting works. Let's just stand on this thing here. But as you can see, the custom swatch is now applied to that area there, and I can change any of this at any time. Now, what else is there that the customizer can do? Patterns. Okay, so now we can actually make our factories look pretty cool. Now, the one feature that I really like is like doing center dotted lines. So if I've got this, I can then do a nice little, okay, here is a road. We've just created a road, but let's say I don't want to do that. I want to put in a stop somewhere or cross section. I can do a cross section here, and I can play around with whatever. There's the factory zone line is pretty nice. So if you go all the way to the edge, you can actually have one of these and say, listen here, there's a train, beware. So, and of course, you can actually paint these as well. So if I go to my colors, let's paint it bright red. There we go. So now you can see it's bright red all over. So yes, the patterns are very nice. They can add quite a bit of nicety to your thing, so you can actually mark stuff properly. So I can say, listen, this is the factory cart, this is that line, and then go off and create a line for that. It's very nice. It actually works pretty well. And when you're up here, you can actually see the lines really well. Okay, now that is the other part, was the patterns that they've added. Like I said, it's pretty good. I kind of like it. It's really adding quite a bit. The materials we've worked through. Now, what also ties into this in the customizer is if you look at your foundations. So what they've done is they've added a filter. So at the moment you can see I've got all the foundations, but I can filter it by having only the viscose foundations and then only the concrete, etc., etc. So I can have whatever style I want and only build in that. So that is one of the extra things that actually ties into the customizer as well. Now, I don't know if I've got enough for this. This actually also applies to your, as you can actually see from here, it also applies to your vehicles. So vehicles also get supplied with your factory color, and you can actually paint your vehicles as well. So let's quickly paint our vehicle. Let's do this one as green. So there we've got the green. So I can basically do and say my red is the front, the green is the back, something like that. So everything can now be painted. We can all be Bob Rosses in Satisfactory, and yeah, I can't actually wait to do a massive mural with a map of my world, which you can just have and see the whole factory from there. But yeah, guys, that is the customizer in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helps you. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. Subscribe and like the video. See you in the next one. Bye.